Bin Salman controls that fund. Interesting times. This is all part of Saudi Arabia's plan for a world that doesn't have oil anymore, a post-oil world. They're trying to position themselves as a global leader in sports, entertainment, tourism, tech, other sectors. They call it Saudi Vision 2030. Basically, they want to become the UAE and Qatar on steroids. Now, the question is, can they pull it off? And secondly, those of us who are living in another, what's in the column now, those of us living in another oil producer, production country, we should also be asking ourselves the question, what could Nigeria have done differently? What could we have done differently to have been in the Saudi position today, rather than be wondering whether we'll be able to survive without fuel subsidy? You know, I would really love to hear your opinions throughout the show. Do you think the Saudis will succeed? Why are we not at this position ourselves as an oil producer ourselves? You know our numbers, 0700-993-993-993. 1 million Lagosians listening to this show. They cannot be wrong. So if you're here for the first time, you're in great company. Welcome. We've got a great show planned for you today. It's the Big Three Global Edition. We'll talk about Nigeria's neighbors reacting to higher petrol prices. Then let's talk about protests in Senegal over Maky Sall's third term agenda. Yes, Lagos, yes. And then let's talk about the war in Sudan. At 4 o'clock, Hard Facts Awards returns. And on Ayes and Nays, let's talk about the National Assembly leadership race, the Senate striking down the Water Resources Bill, Tinubu signing his first law, what will happen to Gbajabiamila's seat, what exactly do committees do? All of these and so much more coming up on Ayes and Nays. After that, Music and Moments with Ifeanyi and Sam will take the air. Expect news, business and sports at the top of the hour every hour. But let's get started with today's Big Three Global Edition. Lagos, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
The Big Three Global Edition on Hard Facts.
Was Nigeria subsidizing petrol in other countries? Will Senegal stop Maky Sall? Has Sudan's civil war reignited ethnic cleansing in Darfur? It's the Big Three Global Edition. Lagos, let's talk. Every Friday at 3, we usually let Nigeria rest a little bit, and instead we take a look at the biggest international stories of the week. However, our first story is the impact of subsidy removal on our neighbors. We have reports from Aeon's Intelligence. They posted a video which they claims shows Cameroonian Okada riders protesting a hike in fuel prices. They say that fuel has gone up since Nigeria ended subsidy. Now, to be clear, they're not talking about pump price at regular filling stations, so they're talking about roadside fuel. In Cameroon, just like in Benin Republic, you have lots of people selling fuel outside of formal stations. And we've heard for years that these vendors are getting fuel from distributors who get it from Nigeria. Allegedly. Nigerian importers and marketers would get fuel at subsidized rates and then smuggle it across the border to our neighbors, allegedly. That's because the big difference, the big difference in price is quite the nice change to go home with for the marketers. So let's say that subsidy price here was 180, but market price in Cameroon was 300. If you buy fuel at 180 here, transport it to Cameroon for 20 naira, you can sell it at 250 naira, and you still make a killing. And the Cameroonians will rush you because it's 50 naira cheaper than market price for them. Now that window has closed. It's no longer happening for them. It no longer makes sense for a Nigerian marketer to take their fuel across the border. So what that's going to do is two things. Number one, is going to mean an end to this black market for cheap fuel in these countries. But number two, it's also going to mean a drop in fuel supply for them. And that could mean an increase in pump price for them. No wonder they are allegedly protesting. But let's bring this home for a moment. I want us to think about all the millions of liters of subsidized fuel that ended up outside Nigeria over the years. I want us to think about all the trillions of naira that these smugglers have made selling off subsidized fuel meant for you at a profit. Lagos, let's think about all the trillions of naira that the government has spent on this in the name of giving you cheap fuel. I want us to think about all the hospitals that we ended up not building, all the roads unpaved that our cars have to dive inside before they can come out, all the schools that don't exist. And then I want you to think about all the people responsible and how many of them are in jail. What's your take on fuel prices going up in our neighboring countries, Lagos? At the end of our subsidy, their price is going up. Is this the final proof of the waste and crime that was a subsidy program? 0700-993-993-993. And yes, feel free to talk to me about what Saudi Arabia is doing and what we could have done differently to be the Saudi Arabia of Saudi Arabia. You can also talk to me about Donald Trump getting indicted again. 014657190. We've got WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. How you doing? Hi.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Jumoke. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Jumoke, welcome. Talk to me.
Yeah, I want to talk about the smuggling of fuel.
Okay.
You see, fuel is not pin, it's not needle. You need to go through the borders of Nigeria from Seme to Ghana. And you will see these long trucks pass through that place around 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a long queue from Seme to Lome
Right.
to Aflao.
Right.
And it just pass through. You know, I have seen it not once, not twice, and I just wonder, I want to go crazy at times. And you see our customers collecting something from them,
Right.
and they just pass.
Right.
Yes, we are subsidizing our neighbors at the expense of the welfare of our people. It has to stop. And I'm happy somebody has taken the bull by the horn. We will all suffer, but it will come down. You remember when the GSM came? I bought my SIM for 25,000.
Right.
And what is happening now? It has been deregulated. Yes, let us bear it for now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure before the end of the year, things will settle and we'll go back.
All right. Jumoke, thank you so much for calling to share your thoughts. Okay, Lagos, we'll take a break because we have a break coming up. When we come back from this break, I'll take more of your thoughts on our neighboring, some people in our neighboring countries allegedly protesting because we've ended our own subsidy. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is the Big Three Global Edition. Every Friday from 3, we take a look at the biggest international stories from the week. And one of the biggest ones is this one, the reaction of neighboring countries to Nigeria ending her subsidy. Don't go away.
The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria presents an investiture ceremony of the 16th President of CITM, Mr. Olushola Samuel Agbuluyi FCTI, to be hosted by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. Special guest of honor is Excellency Senator Ademola Adeleke, the Executive Governor of Osun State. The keynote speaker, Executive Director of First Bank Holding, Mr. Samson Oyewale Aribi, Other special guests include Executive Chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Service, Muhammad Mamanami, Permanent Secretary, Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Olusade Adeshola, Captains of Industries, Heads of Parastatals, and many more. Date Saturday, 10th of June 2023. Time 2 p.m. prompt. Venue Lagos Continental Hotel, 52A Kofohabayomi Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. This event is strictly by invitation. The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Integrity and service.
Sincerely, I don't want to wait till I graduate from this school before I think of what to do with my life.
Exactly. I am going to seriously work on my music skills. Let me use my talent well, I beg.
I would like to be a radio presenter, but I don't know how to go about it.
But why is Timmy so quiet today?
Sorry, ladies. I'm taking this interesting course on how to become a professional scriptwriter. You too can also learn how to become a radio presenter on Wazobia Academy.
Wazobia Academy?
Yes, Wazobia Academy provides accessible and affordable online training in filmmaking, music business, fashion, radio hosting, and lots more. You also stand a chance to be selected for internship in leading production companies, radio stations, music, and fashion studios for hands-on experience. It's easy. Simply log on to www.wazobiaacademy.com or call 0908-826-5038 for more details.
Wazobia Academy. Learn and lead.
Boniface, my guy. Waiting to your face.
My friend, see how you dey live fine. You don't buy car, you don't marry, and I hear say you don't complete your house sef. And I dey here with no money, no job, even to feed sef na problem.
Brotherly. Overthinking no fit solve problem, my guy. Now online trading that they run and now Square Financial teach me.
Square Financial?
Now.
How?
Why don't you reserve a spot in their next free training by sending yes to 0904-859-9688. Squared Financial is a reputable company and they will teach you how to start online trading and make profit. To reserve a spot in their next free training, send yes to 0904-859-9688.
Ernest
Oga, wetin happen? I don send am go market. Abi dey owe you money.
Oga pharmacy, no be your boy I dey call jare. I dey ask for Ernest liver salt, medicine wey dey comot any yamayama discomfort for person belle, whether na heartburn, constipation or even indigestion o. Ernest liver salt get lemon, orange and other correct flavors. With Ernest liver salt, belle go dey balance. Oya Oga pharmacy, sama me one make I go enjoy.
Ernest liver salt, the medicine where they make your belle kulele. Rush and tiny pharmacy, go buy your own now.
Now product of Neskem Pharmaceutical Limited.
Imagine a life with zero worries.
Get up to 5 million naira instant loans when you need it most. Visit www.financials.com or call 01-700-7243.
One play.ng. One play.ng. One play.ng. One play.ng. One play.ng. One play.ng.
My brother, now every day people they win money on top oneplay.ng. From 25,000 go reach 1 million naira. And now only 100 naira you go use play. Yes, so 100 naira pere, you fit play many times. Wait till you they wait for. Make you dial *347*880 hash. Make you listen to the draw on Wazobia FM with Expensive from 8 p.m. On Cool FM with Kemi Smalls from 9 p.m. And on Nigeria Info with Ada Blessing from 10 p.m. So you go fit know if you don't win. One Play na registered trademark of Lasho Trading Services Limited, where they licensed and regulated by Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
Terms and conditions apply.
One play.ng. One play.ng. One play.ng.
The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria presents an investiture ceremony of the 16th President of CITN, Mr. Olushola Samuel Agbuluyi FCTI, to be hosted by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. Special guest of honor is Excellency Senator Ademola Adeleke, the Executive Governor of Osun State. The keynote speaker, Executive Director of First Bank Holding, Mr. Samson Oyewale Aribi. Other special guests include Executive Chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Service, Muhammad Mamanami, Permanent Secretary, Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Olusade Adeshola, Captains of Industries, Heads of Parastatals, and many more. Date Saturday, 10th of June 2023. Time 2 p.m. prompt. Venue Lagos Continental Hotel, 52A Kofohabayomi Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. This event is strictly by invitation. The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Integrity and service.
The round table is back.
I recall that the former Minister for Interior, Abdulrahman Dambazao, said that people go in as dogs and come out as lions.
I don't think the Nigerian government actually took the time to look at it from a holistic perspective.
And it's just really painful because it seems as though that, with every new government, we tend to miss the previous government.
It's just like you put human beings to live as pigs inside a place. How do you correct such? I don't even know who gave them the idea of changing the name.
A round table this June 28th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, 29th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and 30th, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Be part of the table on 99.3 Lagos, 92.3 Port Harcourt, and 95.1 Abuja. Let's talk.
I would just say that we're all stakeholders in the business of building Nigeria.
The biggest football fan festival in Nigeria is back.
Goalfest 2023. Performing live, international superstar Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Imole himself, Mobad.
Listen to this one like this. Been through many things.
And the energy god himself, D.O. to the T-U-N.
Ladies and gentlemen, they call me the energy god #1.
And many more. Goalfest 2023 will also feature exciting games, food, comedy, and you can watch the UEFA Champions League finals on a huge screen. Goalfest 2023 will take place on the 10th of June at the Balmoral Convention Center, Federal Palace Hotel, Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. Time 2 p.m.
Get your free tickets now.
www.goalfestnigeria.com. Limited tickets available, so hurry. Goalfest 2023 is powered by Femi and the Gang and the Football Republic. Proudly refreshed by Pepsi. Sponsored by BetWinner.
Supported by Indomie, media partner, Super Sports.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your #1 station for talk. Let's talk.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Maky Sall has still not ruled out a third-term run in Senegal. That's our second story. At least 14 people have died so far in protests to stop the president from running again. The government has unleashed the police and military against the protesters, but they're not leaving the streets. Maky Sall has been president since 2012 when he beat the incumbent Abdoulaye Wade in a runoff election. Wade was himself running for a third term, which was very controversial at the time. He came first in the election's first round, and Sall came second. They needed a runoff because Wade did not get up to 50%. For the runoff, Sall got all the other candidates to support him by promising to go back to 2 terms. And now, 11 years later, it's time to keep that promise, and so far, it's not looking good. Instead, 3 of the men wanting to run for president have been convicted of crimes. This means that they cannot contest. Opponents say that this is part of Sall's plan to keep himself in power, give himself a third term. That's why there are protests in Senegal. It's really heartbreaking seeing yet another African leader who came to power hailed as a hero, hailed as a fighter against tyranny, seemingly becoming the very thing he spoke against. So my question on this story is a very simple one. I have a very simple question. What is it about Africa that turns democrats into despots? What is it about Africa that turns democrats into despots? 0700993 014657190. And yes, you can talk to me about our first story as well. Our first story took you to Cameroon, where we saw footage of people who are allegedly Okada riders protesting that Nigeria removed her subsidy. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Let's talk 99.3. Hello.
Sandra, how are you doing?
How are you doing? I'm fine. What's your name?
Great, Jonathan is my name.
Jonathan, welcome.
Sandra, I want to talk about the first story about it's not a surprising thing.
Okay.
You remember the subsidy during Jonathan time?
Yes.
I wonder why we forget. People confess on our TV how they carried vessels meant for Nigeria and offload in Ghana and put on and brought the paper back to this country and pay. It's not me and you and Sandra that did that thing now.
Yes.
And that was why I stood against subsidy from the beginning. The point is, I can't justify that thing for not removing subsidy. I'm not the one that caused it. Sandra, it's not me and you that are guarding the border.
Yes.
It is still the same government people. And Sandra, I keep on saying, subsidy, go and Google how this subsidy keeps our life. It is the same them that say they want to do turnaround maintenance. In the meantime they are doing that turnaround, they started importing. And when they started importing, they saw that our gas is there. And till today, they refuse to do the refine. Am I the one that caused the Sandra?
No.
Why should I be the one paying for it? I refuse to agree. Whatever anybody wants to pay, I refuse to agree. Before that subsidy regime came on board, we were living our life and living our life well. So what is the reason why we cannot go back to that our life then? These are all the issues. For me, it's a very simple thing. If you want to remove subsidy, I keep on saying, fix up the refinery back one, fix a transport workable scheme that will make me park my vehicle and drive in two, fix this power. Since 1960, we cannot boast of 20,000 megawatts. But for added to it, even you are going too far, there are so many illegal migrants inside this country that are also still impacting the cost on us. And it's the same government that are causing it. Because if we as Nigerians go to other countries, they will monitor us. I don't know why foreigners will come into this country and they will leave them to walk and look.
All right, Jonathan, thank you very much for calling. 99.3.
Very good listening to you, Lady Sandra.
Good evening as well. What's your name, sir?
My name is Prince YS, calling you from Amuwa Darfur.
Welcome, Prince YS. Talk to me.
You see, my dear, the way we smuggle around to the country, that is how the smuggle our petrol out of the Nigeria. For us in neighboring country, we are not subsidizing only Nigeria. You are subsidizing some West Africa countries. And that is why we all talk about our security. What are they doing? How do they allow this to get out of the country? So the NAPC, the marketers, majority of them, they have a case to answer. And as it is now, look at it. Immediately they remove the subsidy. The diesel now, it has come down. Gas now, it has come down. So this is paying now. But I'm very sure if they allow other body to bring fuel to the country, everything will get better. My dearest President, good evening to you.
Good evening. Thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello. Oh, that's unfortunate. Give us a call back if you can. In the meantime, let me take a look at messages on WhatsApp. We've got this one here. The stories of our so-called neighbors having difficulties or paying higher prices for petroleum products because of removal of the so-called subsidy could be as irrelevant as any other hopeless situation to the ordinary Nigerian, as long as the oil thieves and cabal remain within the corridors of power. Our suffering here is not different from the neighbors. Nothing has happened to the oil thieves who could be traced from NNPC to power mongers hanging everywhere, remaining untouchable. Let's talk about their medicine after death and damage control mechanism, on what the fate of the ordinary man is in this confused, on what the fate of the ordinary man, ordinary Nigerian is in this confused economy management style that this government started with. Okay, mouthful there, but thank you very much for your message. Nii says, the simple differences between Nigeria and Saudi Arabia are: 1, governance mode. Saudi Arabia is a monarchy. Nigeria is not. Number 2, visionary leadership and sincerity of purpose in Saudi Arabia, unlike Nigeria. A cabal has ripped Nigeria off fuel smuggling and subsidy scams for decades. What next for this cabal? On Donald Trump getting indicted, as bad as it may be, I feel the whole thing may work against President Biden and the Democrats, because the more Trump is in the news for the wrong reasons, the more his rabid support base love him. All right. Thanks for your message. We've got this one here. from Ade in Ejigbo. Ade says, if truly Saudi wants to do that, I can assure you that religious extremism will drastically reduce. I assure you that religious extremism will drastically reduce because sports unites the world. They have to remove those laws that encourage extremism. That's the only way they can succeed. The world will be better for it. All right. Thanks for your message. I've got Tunde, my good friend, who says the reason why Saudi Arabia is operating at a high level is quite simple. Where the Saudis had foresight and planned for the future, we failed to do so, coupled with bad leadership and mind-boggling corruption. While they invested proceeds of crude oil into a sovereign wealth fund that grew over the years, making them one of the richest countries in the world, with one of the highest per capita income in the world, our leaders in Nigeria over the years have allegedly siphoned our earnings for themselves at the detriment of our national development. It's such a shame at this time in our political history that we're talking about palliatives, cushioners, relief, grants, etc., while other countries with less resources like Saudi Arabia are making strides. It's such a shame. All right, Tunde from Tulere, thanks for your message. I've got this one here from Wole. Wole says, politicians in Africa are hypocrites and they are only after their pockets. Okay. We've got this one here from Adedeji. Adedeji says, Adedeji says, Adedeji, I don't know what that message is from Adedeji, but thank you for sending it. We've got Billy from Alago Meji, who says, this is how Saudi Arabia uses technology for its crude. Nobody can steal just a liter, but Nigeria government uses Tompolo, paid him billions of naira every month. Cruise country. Sandra, please post this video on your station's Facebook. Let Nigerians see for themselves. Saudi does not practice democracy, and yet. All right. Thank you very much, Bill, for your message. We've got about 1 minute before Ayobe comes in. So let me take this final message here. For lack of a more subtle word, it's ridiculous to ask if Saudi Arabia will succeed. It's like asking if a fish will survive in water, its habitat. Is it not obvious that Saudi Arabia is succeeding and developing rapidly? Saudi Arabia, an oil-producing country, is the fish that chose to remain and survive in water. And Nigeria, an oil-producing country, is like a fish that chose to live on land, burying its head underground. Ooh. Quite poetic, aren't you? Okay, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for being a part of today's Big 3 Global Edition. Don't go away because Ayobe is here to bring you ideas. And when she's done, let's have a bit of fun from 4 to 5 on Hard Facts Awards. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Hard Facts.
'Only station that puts you first'.
Security apparatus that we have, they are not Holy Ghost. They cannot be everywhere at the same time. Let every Nigerian be the first responder to whatever crime that is being perpetrated towards them.
You see, if government is doing exportation, I know that nobody is going to frustrate them. And they will create job for people, but they're just sitting down, they're waiting for money to be shared.
Your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
.3 Nigeria Info. Welcome to Ideas with Ayobe. On the show today, we'll be discussing perhaps the most interesting and engaging conversation in Nigeria's news, I dare say, news space. We're talking the removal of subsidy. And joining Ayobe on the show is Miss Nkoyo Toyo, the convener, Labour Civil Society.